Hi to all my beautiful friends out there. Welcome back to another episode of She Holds Her Keys. Before we dive into today's episode, I just wanted to thank you for being here. Whether you're driving to work, folding another mountain of laundry, making school lunches, cleaning fingerprints off of the windows for the thousandth time today, or maybe you finally found 5 quiet minutes after everyone else has gone to sleep. Thank you. Thank you for letting me spend this time with you. This episode is going to be different. If I'm being completely honest, I've started recording this episode 3 different times. Each time I stopped, not because I didn't know what I wanted to say, but because I wasn't sure if I was ready to say it. Motherhood is one of those things that everyone talks about, but very few people talk about honestly. We celebrate the beautiful moments, and we absolutely should. The first heartbeat, the first smile, the first few steps, the bedtime cuddles, those little hands that always seem to find their way to yours, the spontaneous I love you, mommy. All of those moments are so priceless. But today, I don't want to talk about the moments everyone already sees. I want to talk about the ones that nobody does. Because I have a feeling that if you're listening today, you've probably wondered something that you've never admitted out loud. Am I enough? Can I tell you something? I've asked myself that question more times than I can count. There are days when I lie in bed at night and replay my entire day in my mind. I think about the moments I lost my patience and yelled at my kids. The times I said, just give mommy 1 minute, or mommy is just busy working. The emails I answered while someone was trying to tell me about their day. The moments I could have handled differently. And I wonder, did I do enough today? Was I present enough? Did they feel loved enough? Was I the mom they deserved? I'm a wife, I'm a business owner, and I'm also a leader. I'm building a company with my husband that we pray will create freedom, not only for our family, but for generations after us. We're also raising three incredible, beautiful little girls. And somewhere in the middle of all those roles, I'm also trying to not lose myself. Some days it feels like every piece of me belongs to somebody else. My girls need me. My husband needs me. The business needs me. My team needs me. And my phone certainly thinks it needs me. And somewhere underneath all of those responsibilities is just me, trying to remember that I'm a person too. Nobody really prepares you for how invisible motherhood can feel. Not invisible because people don't love you, invisible because so much of what you do simply becomes expected. Nobody claps because you remembered everyone's appointments. Nobody celebrates that you made dinner after working all day. Nobody sees the hundreds of tiny decisions that you had to make before breakfast even starts. You become a keeper of everything: the schedules, the groceries, the birthday presents, the medicine, the permission slips, the snacks, the clean clothes, the emotional temperature of the house. It's like carrying an invisible backpack that gets a little heavier every single day. And the strange part is, most mothers become so used to carrying it that we forget it's even there. Before I became a mom, I had this picture in my mind of what motherhood would look like. I imagined slow mornings, coffee while it's still hot, a clean house, children sitting quietly while I read them stories, perfect routines. I thought the hard part would be the sleepless nights. Oh boy, was I wrong. The hardest part isn't the lack of sleep. It's the constant tug of war inside your heart. Because no matter where you are, part of you feels like you should be somewhere else. When I'm working, sometimes I feel guilty because I'm not with my girls and I don't play with them enough. But when I'm with my girls, sometimes I think about the work that's waiting for me. When I'm answering emails, I wonder if I'm missing moments that I'll never get back. When I take time for myself, I question whether I really deserve it. It's exhausting, not physically, but emotionally, because guilt has a way of convincing mothers that we're always falling short. And I think that's one of the greatest lies we will ever believe. You know, there was a moment that completely changed me. One of my daughters came to show me something. It wasn't anything extraordinary. It was probably just a drawing or a little treasure she'd found. One of those tiny moments that means everything to your child. And I remember saying, just give mommy 1 minute. 1 minute. Such innocent words. I finished what I was doing, turned around, and she was already gone. She wasn't upset. She just simply moved on. But I hadn't, because I realized something that day. Children don't measure love the way adults do. They don't count the hours you work to provide for them. They don't remember how clean the house was. They don't care whether dinner was homemade or frozen. They remember whether you looked up, whether you smiled, whether you entered their little world for just one moment. That realization broke something in me, but it also healed something because I stopped chasing after perfection. And please let me tell you, sometimes I still do. But as long as you're working on it, you are getting somewhere. And I just started chasing the presents. I realized my daughters don't need a perfect mother. They need one who keeps coming back, one who apologizes when she's wrong, one who laughs loudly with them, one who lets them see her cry sometimes, one who teaches them that strength isn't pretending everything is okay. Strength is choosing love even when life feels heavy. And before we finish today's episode, there's something that I've wanted to do for a very long time. It's for three little girls who changed my life forever. Maybe one day they will hear this. Maybe there'll be teenagers who think mom is embarrassing and not cool anymore. Maybe they'll be grown women with families of their own. Or maybe they'll find this years after I'm gone. If that's the case, girls, these are the words I hope you always carry with you. To my oldest and my sweetest Kiané, you made me a mom. You gave me a title that changed everything about my life. Before you were born, I wondered whether I would know what I was doing. And the truth is, I didn't. You didn't come home with an instruction manual, but we learned together. You taught me that love isn't something you feel, it's something you choose. Every single day, you have one of the kindest hearts I've ever known. You notice when someone is left out. You care deeply. You feel deeply. So please, never let this cruel world convince you that kindness is a weakness. It isn't. It takes incredible strength to stay soft in a world that often rewards hardness. Protect your heart and always remember you never have to earn my love. You already have it forever. To my wild child and my beautiful Zelnique, you have a way of filling a room with so much joy. You remind me that life doesn't always have to be so serious. Your laughter has rescued more difficult days than you'll ever know. You taught me that happiness isn't found in perfect circumstances. Sometimes it's found in dancing barefoot in the kitchen. Sometimes it's found in making silly faces, in laughing so hard your tummy hurts. Promise me something. Don't ever let adulthood steal that from you. The world will hand you responsibilities. Carry them. But don't let them steal your wonder. Never become so busy building a life that you forget to enjoy living it. And to my baby girl, my precious Mianke, you probably won't remember these little years, but I will. I'll remember your tiny hands reaching for mine. The way you looked at me with complete trust. The little voice that called me mommy. The sleepy cuddles. The way you'd rest your head on my shoulder. Those moments became pieces of my heart. So thank you for reminding me that love somehow doesn't divide. It multiplies. When you arrived, I didn't have less love to give. My heart simply grew bigger. And now, to all three of you, there are things I hope life teaches you, but there are also things I hope you never have to learn the hard way. I hope you know that your worth has never been measured by your achievements, not your grades, not your careers, not your appearance, not the size of your home, not the balance in your bank account, not the opinions of strangers. None of it. The world will spend your entire life trying to tell you who you should become. Please listen more closely to the voice of the one who created you than the voices trying to change you. I hope you choose kindness, even when kindness isn't returned. I hope you choose integrity, even when nobody's watching. I hope you choose courage, even when you're afraid. And I hope you laugh so loud and forgive quickly. You love deeply. You say, I'm sorry when you're wrong. Say, I love you often. Don't wait for special occasions. Celebrate ordinary Tuesdays. Call me and your dad. We love you more than you'll ever fully understand. Take pictures, not because everything has to be posted online, but because one day they'll become memories you can't recreate. Hold your sisters close. One day, when your dad and I aren't there anymore, you still have each other. Protect that relationship, fight for it. Life is too short for pride to steal family. And girls, can I tell you something your mom still struggles to believe sometimes? You do not have to be perfect to be loved deeply. You never have to earn love by performing. You never have to prove your value. You never have to become someone else to deserve belonging. You are enough, exactly as you are. Not because I say so, because God says so. And His opinion has always mattered more than anyone else's. There will be days when life feels impossibly heavy, days when your plans fall apart, days when your hearts break, days when you question yourself. On those days, I hope you remember me. Not because I always had the answers, but because I kept getting back up. If there's one thing I hope I taught you, I hope it's that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's choosing to move forward while your knees are still shaking. And finally, my princesses, if I could leave you with only one thing, it wouldn't be money or a business or a house or huge success. It would be this: know Jesus. Not because your mom knew him, know him for yourself. Let him become your anchor when everything else feels uncertain. Let him be with the voice you run to before you listen to the noise of the world. Because people will disappoint you. Dreams will sometimes fall apart. Life will not always be fair. But his love has never depended on your performance, and neither has mine. I wasn't a perfect mom. I lost my patience. I make mistakes. I worry too much. I probably said no when I should have said yes, and I probably said yes when I should have said no. There were days I questioned whether I was enough, but there was never, not for one single second, a moment when you weren't loved with everything I had. You three are the greatest gift that I have ever received. You are not the reason I stopped dreaming. You are the reason my dreams became bigger. Because everything your dad and I are building, every sacrifice, every long day, every difficult season, every risk we've taken has always been rooted in one simple hope: that one day you would look at our lives not to see perfection, but to see faith. That you would know what it looks like to trust God when the path ahead doesn't make sense, to love people well, to keep your word, to work hard, to stay humble, to always choose family, to keep getting back up. And if that's what you remember, then your dad and I have lived successful lives. We love you girls so, so much. And to every mother listening today, I hope you know something. If you've ever wondered whether you are enough, you're not alone. If you've cried in the bathroom because you didn't want your children to see, you're not alone. If you've questioned yourself, if you've loved so deeply that it sometimes hurts, you're definitely not alone. Motherhood isn't about getting everything right. It's about loving so consistently that your children never have to question where home is. And home was never the house. Home has always been your heart. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Until next time, I appreciate each and every one of you. But remember this before you go: You don't have to hold the whole world together. You only have to keep holding the keys to the things that matter most. I'll see you in the next episode. Take care. You're amazing.
She's rising, yeah, she believes it.